Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session on IIT JAM Economics Strategy for the year 2023-24. But today I will give you a complete information about what is the syllabus of IIT, how can we prepare for IIT, how should you be going ahead and solving the questions of IIT. We will discuss everything in detail. And if you have any doubts at the end, we will also take those doubts towards the very end of the session. To begin with, let us try and understand what is going to be the pattern of IIT JAM paper. First of all, understand that it is going to be computer-based test. तो इसमें आपको कोई OMR sheet नहीं मिलती है. एक कंप्यूटर पे ये टेस्ट होगा, आपको वहीं पर सारे आंसर्स देने होंगे. Questions will be shown in random sequence. When I say random sequence, इसका क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब ये है कि जिस सीक्वेंस में क्वेश्चंस आपको दिखेंगे और जिस सीक्वेंस में क्वेश्चंस आपके नेबर के स्टूडेंट को दिखेंगे वो बहुत ही अलग होंगे. So every student will be seeing questions in different order. अलग अलग order में दिखेगा. Please do not even think of looking into the answer of your side person because he will be having a different question. Okay. Third, beta the duration of this paper is going to be 3 hours and medium will be English only. Sirf or sirf ye paper English mein diya jayega, no other language will be there. There will be 60 questions and totally it will be 100 marks paper. So 60 questions solve करने होंगे, 100 marks का paper होगा. 3 घंटे दिए जाएंगे. 3 hours would be given to you. The exam will be conducted in almost around 100 cities. तो 100 cities में ये exam आपका conduct किया जाएगा. The date is already out. The exam is going to be there on 11th of Feb. And the result will be on 22nd of March. So already we know when the exam would be conducted and when the result would be coming. Now let us go ahead and understand what is going to be the paper pattern. So beta पूरा का पूरा जो IIT का पेपर है वो 3 sections में divided है. Section A, B and C. Section A में multiple choice questions होंगे, 30 multiple choice questions. इन 30 multiple choice questions में एक division है. 10 multiple choice questions will be of 1 marks each. They are comparatively easier. And 20 multiple choice questions are of 2 marks each. They are comparatively difficult. ठीक है, तो 10 questions of 1 marks each are comparatively easy. And the remaining 20 questions which are of 2 marks each are comparatively difficult. If you can see, you will understand that this implies that ultimately 50 marks are just for section A. बहुत बड़ी बात है कि कट ऑफ इतनी हाई नहीं होती है, उस हिसाब से 50 marks automatically section A के लिए dedicated है, which in itself is a very big thing. ठीक है. Now इसमें इशू क्या है? इसमें इशू ये है कि बेटा इसमें नेगेटिव मार्किंग भी इन्वॉल्व्ड है. So when I talk about these 10 questions, right, then you can see that it has 1/3 of the negative marking. मतलब अगर आप गलत करते हो तो 1/3 marks will be deducted. And similarly, if you go ahead and look at the second part, 2 marks question, there is 2/3 negative marking. So these questions have negative marking also, and therefore you have to think twice before you can go ahead and you can answer these questions. ठीक है. Section A is the only section which has negative marking. सिर्फ इसी section में negative marking है. No other section has negative marking. But बाकी section इससे ज्यादा difficult है. तो एक trade off है. इसमें negative marking तो है, but ये section comparatively easier है. Section B और C में negative marking नहीं है, but वो comparatively difficult है, which I will just show you in a while. So beta, before we can go ahead and go further, एक बारी मैं एक example देना चाहूंगी कि क्या डिफरेंस होगा सेक्शन ए और सेक्शन बी के क्वेश्चंस में. सो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं सेक्शन ए के क्वेश्चन की बात करती हूँ, आई टोल्ड यू दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बी कंपेरेटिवली इजियर. सो क्वेश्चन लाइक दिस कैन कम दैट which of the following is a component of gross national product. They will give you some options and they will ask you कि GNP में क्या क्या आता है, और which tools does the government use for inflation targeting. ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन आएगा, ठीक है. So the question will be straightforward comparatively. और which of the following committee is for poverty. ठीक है, it is going to be straightforward. और which 5-year plan talks about so and so. ठीक है, comparatively straightforward questions will be coming in section A, which are for 1 mark each. But when I talk about 2 marks, so beta in that, in microeconomics, macro, you will have numerical based questions. जैसे अगर मैं इसी का corresponding 2 marks में बनाऊंगी, then the question will be, they will give you some things and they will ask you calculate GNP, MP, and they will give you 4 options, right? Or they will go ahead and find competitive equilibrium, and they will give you 4 options of the price ratio. So when I talk about these 10 questions, these are comparatively easier and straightforward. When I talk about these 20 questions, these are comparatively difficult. By difficult, I means these are numerical based, numbers involved honge, but options will be given to you. And this has 1/3 negative marking and this has 2/3 of the negative marking. But next, let's talk about section B. Section B will have 10 multiple select questions. So when I say multiple select questions, मतलब एक option से ज़्यादा option correct होगा. There will be more than one option which will be correct, right? So in multiple select option, you will get marks only if you select all correct answers and no wrong answer. तो अगर 4 options दिए हैं और उसमें से 2 करेक्ट हैं, तो वो ही 2 आपको क्लिक करने हैं और बाकी 2 क्लिक नहीं होने चाहिए. If both of these things are satisfied, only then you will be getting marks for it. Otherwise, you will not be getting marks for it. So you have to select all correct. अगर सिर्फ एक सही select करते हो, तो भी marks नहीं मिलेंगे. You will not be getting marks for it. I hope this is clear to you. ठीक है, so multiple select में all correct options must be selected. Let me give you an example. So supposedly I ask you, which of the following is correct about augmented Phillips curve. ऐसा कुछ मैंने दे दिया, ठीक है, and I give you some options. जैसे for example I can say long run Phillips curve is vertical, rational expectation Phillips curve is vertical, adaptive expectation Phillips curve is downward sloping. Like this, I give you 4 options. I'm just making up this question. So I'm giving you 4 options, right? You have to select all options which are correct and not select options which are not correct. If you do that correctly, only then you will be getting marks in that question. So that is the second part, which is multiple select. Now, but there is no negative. So if you select incorrect options, you will just get a 0, but you will not have any negative marking in this section. Now, this section has 10 questions of 2 marks each. So this section is going to be of 20 marks. So 50 marks यहाँ हो गए हैं, 20 marks यहाँ हो गए हैं, and the remaining 30 marks will be section C. Section C is called numerical answer type, NAT questions. The numerical answer type basically is going to have 20 questions, 10 questions of 1 marks each, and 10 questions of 20 marks each. In this case, कोई भी choice नहीं दी जाएगी. No choice will be shown to you. You have to go ahead and you have to go ahead and write the answer in the fill up. There is going to be no negative marking in this section also. अगर आप गलत आंसर देते हो, you will not be marked negatively. And you are not allowed to carry a calculator. तो अगर आप IIT की वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे, I will show you in another session. They give you a virtual numerical keypad. एक वर्चुअल कैलकुलेटर दिया जाता है कंप्यूटर पर ही. आप उस वर्चुअल कैलकुलेटर को यूज कर सकते हो, but you will not be allowed to carry any calculator in exam. So using that virtual numeric keypad, you can go ahead and give those answers. So again, beta, 10 questions, 1 marks each. These are comparatively easier. And 10 questions, 2 marks each. These are comparatively difficult. Okay, totally 20 marks for this and 10 marks for this. So section C is going to contain 30 marks. Let me give you an example of easy and difficult question. तो जैसे 10 marks वाले में ना ऐसा कुछ आ सकता है. Calculate Pash's index for following data. I'm just making up these questions अभी के अभी. ऐसा नहीं है कि यही आएगा. Okay. So ऐसा कुछ दे दिया, they will give you some data and ask you to calculate the index. That is a simple question, very simple, है ना? But suppose in difficult one, what they can do is they can go ahead and do something like this. So let's say that they can give you a composite utility function. So they can say min or 2x plus y, x plus 2y, and they can ask you to calculate Marshallian demand. तो इसमें थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा ना, इट इज टाइम कंज्यूमिंग फॉर यू टू सॉल्व, है ना? सो ये वाला जो क्वेश्चन हो गया बेटा, जो टाइम कंज्यूमिंग हो गया, इट कैन कम इन अ 2 mark क्वेश्चन, एंड जो कंपैरेटिवली इजियर हो गया, इट कैन कम इन अ 1 mark क्वेश्चन. सो दैट इज 20 NAT questions. I hope this is clear to you. So this is going to be the total paper pattern. 50 marks section A, multiple choice questions. It includes negative marking. 20 marks section B, multiple select questions, no negative marking. 30 marks section C, no negative marking, but you have to fill in the blanks. You will not be given any option. Now, any question which is not attempted in any section, it simply means you will get 0 marks for that question. MCQ and MSQ have to be done using mouse. Mouse पे click करना है, ये option सही है, ये option सही है. Virtual numeric keypad is available for NAT questions. Outside calculator is not allowed. And बेटा आपका slot already आ चुका है on 11th of Feb. Your exam will be from 2:30 to 5:30 PM. So this is the time which has already been announced for your exam. अब हम आगे बात करेंगे इसके सिलेबस की और इसको हमें क्या-क्या कवर करना चाहिए इस सिलेबस में. So if you go ahead and you start with the first one, it says the first one is microeconomics. शुरू करते हैं कंज्यूमर थ्योरी से. Consumer theory has preferences. So preferences में बेटा you should know all types of utility functions, min, max, concave, convex, well defined क्या होता है, everything should be known to you. Then you have utility and representation theorem, जिसमें you should know what is cardinal utility, ordinal utility, composite utility functions, everything you should know. Budget constraint, जिसमें आपको simple budget lines भी आनी चाहिए and kinged budget lines भी आनी चाहिए. So you should be aware about the kinged budget lines also. Choice, that means you should know how to find equilibrium. Demand, compensated and ordinary. So if you remember, we have done compensated demand curves in class, right? So you should know both ordinary demand curves, compensated, and इसमें हमने पूरा का पूरा जो भी different numericals किए हैं, you should be well aware of that also. Slutsky equation, you should know that table which I have made for you in class, what happens for different kind of goods. And yesterday only we did in class revealed preference axioms. तो ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि warp satisfy हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, SARP satisfy हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. So that is the first part, which is consumer theory. Next, beta, let's talk about the producer theory. So in producer theory, which I'm going to begin from the coming class, you need to know production technology, isoquants. So why are isoquants downward sloping? Why is isoquant convex? Production function with one and more inputs. So जब one input है, short run case हो गया. Multiple inputs हैं, long run case हो गया. Returns to scale. This is very important. अच्छा, यहाँ कहीं पे भी लिखा नहीं है, but यहाँ पे हमेशा एक क्वेश्चन इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूशन पे आता ही आता है in one of the exams. So you should be aware of elasticity of substitution also. Short run and long run cost. Again, यहाँ पर लिखा नहीं है, but when I do it with you in class, you will see that here in cost theory, you should know the theory of multiple plants also. मैं बताऊंगी वो क्या है एग्जाम क्लास में, but you should know what is the theory of multiple plants. Then cost curves in short run and cost curve in long run. ठीक है. Again, they have not mentioned, but बेटा यहाँ पर you should also know profit functions. Again, I will show you in class. क्योंकि last time there was a question asking whether profit function is quasi concave or quasi convex. तो वो तो तभी कर सकते हो ना, but profit function पड़े हुए हैं. So you have to be aware about profit functions also, even though it is not mentioned here. ठीक है. बेटा next thing आओ जरा. Next it says general equilibrium and welfare. That's the next topic that you have. So equilibrium and efficiency under pure exchange and production, welfare economics, theorems of welfare economics. Again in this, जब मैं general welfare की बात करती हूँ, you should not only know the consumer side, but beta you should be aware about the producer side also. It is my high intuition that since last few times, because they have always been giving the consumer side, this year in exam from general equilibrium, they will ask you producer theory. ठीक है. तो अगर अभी ही आप इंटरमीडिएट वीडियोस में जाओगे, यू विल फाइंड कि मैंने जनरल इक्विलिब्रियम को कंज्यूमर और प्रोड्यूसर दोनों में एक्सप्लेन किया है. प्रोड्यूसर थ्योरी में कैसे हम एक 2x2x2 इकोनॉमी बनाते हैं, यू शुड बी अवेयर अबाउट दैट ऑल्सो. वेलफेयर इकोनॉमिक्स मतलब यू शुड बी अवेयर अबाउट द डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ यूटिलिटी फंक्शंस फॉर द सोसाइटी, राइट. ठीक है. जैसे रावल्सियन यूटिलिटी फंक्शन है ना, मिन मैक्स यूटिलिटी फंक्शन है ना. सो ये सोशल वेलफेयर फंक्शंस कौन से होते हैं, ये जानना भी बहुत जरूरी है. And theorems of welfare economics, first welfare theorem, second welfare theorem, you should know this. अच्छा, इसमें ना although exam में chances कम है, but again I've just included it in intermediate videos. यहाँ पर you should also be aware about the scenario with monopoly. एक Edgeworth box, I think so it's there in Varian or Snyder, one book it's there. In the Edgeworth box, how do you show the case of monopoly? You should be aware about that also. Okay, beta, come forward. Market structure, perfect competition, monopoly. So how do I prefer, how do I tell my students? Beta, between perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly, क्या करना चाहिए ना? You should make a table. Monopoly, perfect competition, monopolistic, oligopoly. And हर चीज जो भी इनके फीचर्स हो सकते हैं, उनपे इनको डिस्क्रिमिनेट करो, डिस्टिंग्विश करो. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल प्राइस डिटर्मिनेशन. Can monopoly decide its own price? Can perfect competition decide its own price? Is it a price taker or a price maker? ये बना दिया first. Second, equilibrium condition. ठीक है, जैसे दिस इक्वेट्स MR इक्वल टू MC, ये क्या करता है, ये क्या करता है, ये क्या करता है। थर्ड, आउटपुट इक्विलिब्रियम, आउटपुट कब डिसाइड होता है। फोर्थ, ऐसे करके जस्ट मेक डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स, डज द सप्लाई कर्व एग्जिस्ट और नॉट। I'm just giving you an example. So once you do all these 4 chapters with me, then you must go ahead and make this table to distinguish between different kinds. It's very important. Okay. Next, beta. It talks about pricing with market power and price discrimination. So first, second, and third, all price discrimination are important. And isme you should be also studying what is deadweight loss under different situations. Again beta, I will do it with you in class कि deadweight loss तीनों situations में क्या क्या होता है, ये जानना बहुत ही जरूरी है. When I say pricing with market power, we know learners index use करना है, so you should know learners index also. आगे चलते. Game theory. Strategic form games, iterated elimination of dominated strategy, Nash equilibrium, mixed extension, mixed strategies, Cournot-Bertrand and Prisoner's dilemma. अच्छा, यहां इन्होंने लिखा नहीं है, Cournot-Bertrand के साथ Stackelberg भी करना है, यहां लिखा नहीं है, बट मिक्स स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ सीक्वेंशियल गेम्स भी करनी है, आ सकती है एग्जाम में, है ना. तो नैश इक्विलिब्रियम सिर्फ साइमल्टेनियस गेम्स में ही नहीं, सीक्वेंशियल और मिक्स्ड स्ट्रैटेजी नैश इक्विलिब्रियम जानना भी इक्वली जरूरी है. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस ऑल्सो. बेटा कम फॉरवर्ड नाउ टू पब्लिक गुड. एक्सटर्नैलिटीज, नेगेटिव एक्सटर्नैलिटी, पॉजिटिव एक्सटर्नैलिटी, कंज्यूमर एक्सटर्नैलिटी, प्रोड्यूसर एक्सटर्नैलिटी, सब कुछ पढ़ना है. क्वेश्चंस ऑन एक्सटर्नैलिटीज, कैसे मार्जिनल एक्सटर्नल कॉस्ट कर्व में आती है, कैसे इस पे न्यूमेरिकल्स आ सकते हैं. एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी कंप्लीटेड फ्रॉम एक्सटर्नैलिटीज. पब्लिक गुड्स, नॉन राइवलरिस्ट प्रॉपर्टी एंड, अच्छा इसमें ना पब्लिक गुड्स में यूजुअली गेट का ये एक फेवरेट टॉपिक है. सो गेट एग्जाम विल गिव यू पब्लिक गुड्स. सो यू मस्ट, सिर्फ जब पढ़ रहे हो आईआईटी के एस्पेक्ट में नहीं पढ़ो, गेट, आईएसआई, डीएससी, जो बाकी एग्जाम्स भी होंगे उसके लिए भी यू आर ओपनिंग अप योर माइंड, राइट. सो यू हैव टू डू एवरीथिंग इन दिस. मार्केट विद एसिमेट्रिक इंफॉर्मेशन, एडवर्स सिलेक्शन एंड मॉरल हैजार्ड. बेटा इन दिस व्हेन आई विल डू दिस विद यू, दोनों पे ही आई विल डू वन एग्जाम्पल ईच, न्यूमेरिक एग्जाम्पल, क्योंकि वो न्यूमेरिकल आ सकते हैं. ठीक है. So I will show you when we do it in class. आगे आते हैं. This is complete microeconomics. According to me, microeconomics and maths are the most difficult subjects of economics. ठीक है. इसलिए that is the first thing we start with, and usually September end तक I prefer going with these only. Why? Because this is the heaviest subject. वेरी हैवी सब्जेक्ट. इसमें जो न्यूमेरिकल्स आते हैं वो मैक्रो में नहीं आएंगे. मैक्रो बहुत मतलब मैक्रो इज बिगर, देखने में बड़ी लगेगी, बट इट इज इजियर. मैक्रो कैन बी डन विद इन 1.5 months. You can revise it thoroughly. But when it comes to microeconomics, that takes a very big chunk. So if you start microeconomics maybe from June, July, you will continue doing micro till September. Believe me, it's that big. तो micro को बेटा शुरू करना जरूरी है. For people who have not started, now is the time. Stop wasting time now and start doing microeconomics. Okay. बेटा next let's talk about macroeconomics. So पहला टॉपिक दिया हुआ है नेशनल इनकम अकाउंटिंग, स्ट्रक्चर, की कॉन्सेप्ट, मेजरमेंट. तो सिंपल है, इसमें ना हर तरीके का आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा. व्हाट इज जीडीपी, GNP, प्राइवेट इनकम, प्राइवेट डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, पर्सनल इनकम, जितने फॉर्मूलाज होते हैं, एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी डन. ओके. देन इट सेज सर्कुलर फ्लो ऑफ इनकम, ठीक है. For open and closed economy, money, fiscal and foreign sector variable, concepts and measurement. तो इसमें I feel that this time they may ask you the difference between the different kind of variables. ठीक है, जैसे stock versus flow. This can come in exam. ठीक है, so you should be aware about that also. Come to the next part, beta. Next is behavioral technological functions. This is something which is already there in your intermediate lectures. So please go ahead and you can start reading it already. ये सारा consumption के जो जितने theories होती हैं, absolute income hypothesis, life cycle hypothesis, permanent income hypothesis, random walk, and types of investment function, all of this is there in your intermediate videos already. So if you want, during your weekends, you can already go through this from intermediate videos. ठीक है बेटा? अच्छा, from this is one topic which I think can also deserve some numericals. So when you will do my mock papers, you will see that I have given you some numericals on it. जैसे for example, life cycle hypothesis पे numerical can come. ठीक है? How will you smoothen out your consumption? ठीक है? So such numericals must be practiced. It has taken me a lot of time to prepare. कहीं book में ऐसे एकदम नहीं मिलते हैं. So I have to use my own examples to make those questions. But such questions can come in exam. ठीक है बेटा? Next आते हैं business cycles पे. So in this, you have business cycle and its features. What is the type of business cycle under classical and Keynesian model? ठीक है, and इसमें ISLM model and monetary fiscal policy is of maximum importance. So something like this can come in exam. A 2 marks question. They will give you equation of IS. They will give you equation of LM. They will tell you the change in government expenditure, and they will ask you about fiscal policy, multiplier, value. Okay, so you should be able to calculate that. Yeah, or suppose they will tell you that, let's say, sensitivity of sensitivity of income has changed. How will that affect the AD curve? ऐसा कुछ, ठीक है? तो different kind of questions related to the changing of the parameters and whether IS will be steep or flat, LM will be steep or flat, AD will be steep or flat. ऐसे questions can also go ahead and be asked in exam. This is the most interesting and difficult topics that I see. Students find this topic most difficult, especially this Mundale-Fleming model. So beta, in Mundale-Fleming model, I will do 8 cases with you. And on 8 cases mein, we will finish the entire strategy of the open economy. ना उससे ऊपर ना उससे नीचे. Mundale-Fleming में उसके अलावा कुछ भी नहीं आ सकता. That is it that will come in exam. ठीक है? So Mundale-Fleming is very, very important. Most of the times, this is what will come in exam. Or please write down, यहाँ पे लिखा नहीं है, things like impossible trinity. That can also come in exam. Things like import multiplier. And just, जो भी मुझे याद आ रहा है, I'm just writing those down. So that can also come in exam. Okay. Next beta, we have inflation and unemployment. Types of inflation and types of unemployment आएंगी. So you should know cost, demand pull, cost pull, all these inflations you should be aware about. Unemployment में structural unemployment, cyclical unemployment, ये सब पता होना चाहिए. Unemployment से related ना कभी-कभी numerical आ जाता है. So they will give you something like this. They will give you labor force. They will give you the people who are employed. They will give you dependent people. They will give you population. कुछ 4-5 बातें बोल देंगे. Then they will ask you calculate unemployment rate. So you must be aware about how you can do that, and you should know कि कौन से variables को use करना है इसके लिए और कौन से use नहीं करने हैं. ठीक है? That can also be asked. Again, I have tried to include all such questions in the mock paper. So when you will practice those at the end, you will see सब कुछ मैंने explain किया हुआ है. अच्छा, come to the next one now, बेटा. So growth models में है Harrod-Domer, Solo, AK model, Romer and Schumpeter. Easy models है. Most of the time Solo model से ही steady state question में आता है. But I always tell my students, please don't don't go by what has come in the past years. Harrod-Domer से भी numerical आने के equal chances हैं. So you should aware about Harrod-Domer also and Romer also. AK also. Okay. These are the three models which can give you numerical. Harrod-Domer, Solo and AK. Again, when you will do mock paper, you will realize कि मैंने तीनों पे ही numericals को include किया है. Schumpeter पे सिर्फ innovation से related पूछते हैं. So this will just be a theoretical question if it comes. And same goes for Romer. ठीक है? Okay, beta. Now let's come to the third one, which is your statistics. Stats is very heavy again. With every coming year, they are making stats more and more difficult. So stats again has to be a very important chunk of your practice. But the thing that you have to understand is that even when you go, I will do an analysis of 2023 paper in some other session. When you go by the analysis, micro plus maths is almost 50%. Macro is again 25%, but stats is just 18%. ठीक है? So stats exam में 18% आती है as compared to micro, macro and maths, which come for 25% each. So, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं है that stats is easy. Stats is very difficult, and you have to go ahead and focus on all these topics. Let me take it with you. Probability theory, sample space and events, axioms of probability and their properties, conditional probability and Bayes rule. This is very important. कभी कभी एक बेसिक बेस थ्योरम पे ही क्वेश्चन आ जाता है. इंडिपेंडेंट इवेंट्स, तो इसमें स्टूडेंट्स शुड बी अवेयर अबाउट व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन इंडिपेंडेंट वर्सेस एक्सक्लूसिव वर्सेस एग्जॉस्टिव इवेंट्स. बेटा यही नहीं पता होता इनके बीच का डिफरेंस क्या है. यू हैव टू बी अवेयर. इफ दे गिव यू मल्टीपल सेलेक्ट एंड दे गिव यू 4 ऑप्शंस and usme they are using these definitions, you have to be aware na what is independent, what is exclusive, what is exhaustive. ye pata hona zaruri hai, right? Then beta next is random variable and probability distributions. ye inhone jaise hi likh diya na, this itself is a very big thing. You have to go ahead and know all kind of probability distribution. ये अपने आप में is a very big topic. Okay. अच्छा, कभी कभी they will ask you question on joint probability distribution. So you have to be aware about that also. Random variables, you must be aware about that also. ठीक है? So mean, variance of random variables, that should be known also. ठीक है? And finally, covariance and correlation coefficients. So in probability distribution, understanding binomial, Bernoulli, exponential, normal, सारी probability, gamma distribution भी मैंने last time students को करवाई थी, because I thought that gamma can also come in exam. So all kind of distributions must be thoroughly done. Next, beta, let's talk about mathematical statistics. This basically is point and interval estimation. इसमें fixed question है. You will either get a question on method of movement or maximum likelihood. Last time, I had done some 10 questions on maximum likelihood and exactly similar question came in exam. So, जो 10 question मैं करवाऊंगी, they will be so exhaustive that it will cover all type of questions. हम हर distribution से एक maximum likelihood का question कर लेंगे. ठीक है? Then you have confidence interval, sampling distribution, central limit theorem, and law of large number. Better come forward. Hypothesis testing का fixed question है. Either they will ask you on type 1 and type 2 error. Again, इस पे I will do some numericals with you. इसी से power of test आ जाएगी. तो power of test भी कर लेंगे. And finally, hypothesis testing में they can ask you to do null versus alternative hypothesis. जिसमें they can ask you, will you reject or will you not reject? So that kind of question can also come in exam. Lastly, beta, we have correlation and regression. If you see, तो यहाँ पर they are not focusing too much on regression. They are just saying that ordinary least square will come in CLRM properties. सिर्फ इतना ही लिखा है ना? They haven't talked about multicollinearity, heteroscedasticity. But beta, वो सब कुछ इस assumption में ही cover हो गया. So you should know what happens when there is when there is multicollinearity for that matter. You should know what happens when there is heteroscedasticity. तो ये assumptions को ढंग से पढ़ना कि ये 10 assumptions क्या कह रही हैं, that is very important. Still, I can tell you that when it comes to IIT exam, they don't focus a lot on econometrics. But if you are preparing for IIT plus GATE, तो बेटा GATE में तो econometrics है. So if you are preparing for GATE, then you have to do econometrics, right? But if you're only preparing for IIT, so I can tell you that not a lot of a question will be asked. Just so they can ask you something like this: find standard error, and they can give you a regression equation. इतना पूछ सकते हैं, but they will not ask you too much. They will not ask you about dummy variable or something like that. It's not mentioned at least. But we still have to study because we are also preparing for GATE. Okay, now let's talk about maths. बेटा Indian को बाद में लेंगे, maths पे आओ. Maths में जब हम देखते हैं, the first thing is preliminary and functions, set theory, number theory, quadratic polynomial, power function, exponential function, सबकी properties पता होनी चाहिए. You should be well aware of the properties of each kind of function. A question can be asked from convex set. Question can be asked from concavity, quasi-convexity. Last time, so what happened is till 2021 and 22, De Morvis theorem never came in exam. But last time I was very sure that it will be asked this time. So I included it in the mock paper. And exactly that came in exam. So, you have to go with my intuition. If I'm telling you, जैसे मैंने ऊपर भी बताया कि मुझे लग रहा है इस बार ही stock flow पूछेंगे या कुछ पूछेंगे, please read that. एक extra चीजें तो पढ़ रहे हो, अभी time है पढ़ने का. So don't skip the things I'm mentioning you to study. ठीक है? So De Morvis theorem, complex numbers, this is important. You will definitely get a question on convergent and divergent sequences. तो ये पढ़ना भी जरूरी है. Then beta, next thing that I want to first focus on after this part is linear algebra. You have already done this in class. ये पूरा आपका हो चुका है. So matrices, system of linear equation, linear independence, rank, determinants, ये सब बहुत important है. In this entire concept, now when you will go ahead and you will look into your sections, you will see I've added some more assignments into it. But those assignments also include important question related to subspace. ये questions भी exam में आ सकते हैं. So you should be doing all the assignments very, very thoroughly. Okay. So questions related to whether something is a subspace or not. What is an eigenvector? Find out the rank. ठीक है? Check out the linear independence. All of these things can go ahead and come in exam. So you are supposed to go ahead and practice this well. ठीक है? ये पूरा आपका section हो चुका है. Start practicing this. Do all the assignments that are given to you. Now, beta, next thing I want to talk about limit and continuity. So, in this limit and continuity, one thing that you have to understand is that it will not only ask you for single variable functions. It can also ask you about multiple variable functions. I will go ahead and I will show you examples, but you have to go ahead and do both. Single variable भी करने हैं और multiple variable भी करने हैं, checking the limit and checking the continuity. ठीक है बेटा? Similarly, the next thing is written as mean value theorem. इस पे you will get some assignments based on past year questions from different exam. वो assignment करनी जरूरी है. Taylor's theorem, partial differentiation, chain rule, second order derivative, implicit function theorem. These two are very important theorems. एक हो गया आपका mean value theorem और एक हो गया intermediate function theorem. ये दोनों बहुत important है. There is a high chance it can come in exam, and I have included multiple questions on this in the mock paper. So something like this. Suppose I tell you f of a is कुछ random बना देते हैं. F of a is 10 and let's say f of b is -4. ठीक है? F of b is -4 and 10 ऐसा कुछ बना दिया हमने. And you know, suppose that asks you what are the number of solutions to this. So if it cuts only once, you have one solution like that, na? So we check whether you're going from negative to positive. Is it a monotonic function or not? And based on that, we check whether you will have multiple solutions or one solution. So again, these are just implications of these theorems and you should be aware of these. Then beta integration पे one fixed question will come. कोई एक integration पे question दे देंगे. One question will come on differential equation, fixed है. Difference equation पे या differential पे they will give you a question. And finally, you have optimization. ठीक है, जिसमें बहुत सारी चीजें आपने मेरे साथ माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स में पहले ही कर ली हैं. Like you've already done the method of Lagrange, constrained optimization, because we do that in the first class, right? You maximize utility subject to budget constraint. तो ये हम already कुछ तो कर भी चुके हैं माइक्रो में, but maths में also you will do. And then you have the duality theorem. ये भी हमने माइक्रो में किया है. When we maximize utility versus minimizing expenditure, एक मार्शेलियन देता है, एक हिक्सियन. These two are equivalent of each other. So in micro we have already done duality, है ना? अच्छा बेटा, इधर मैं आपको बोल रही थी ना, I will give you an example. You can write an example also. So what about two variable? Something like this. Let's say if I tell you the function is x square minus y cube upon x square plus y, say y square. And I ask you if this is continuous or not. Does the function partial derivative exist at 0, 0 or not? Right? So when I go ahead and I give you multiple variable function, right? That is also to be done. That will definitely come in exam. I can give you in writing that this will definitely come in exam. Okay, अब वापस आ जाते हैं बेटा इंडियन इकोनॉमी पे. इंडियन इकोनॉमी पे this is the course. Every year I add more to Indian economy based on what came in the last paper. So just for example, if I think that, because this is very vast. Just for example, they have written India's achievement in health, education and other sector. Now, which achievement? Am I talking about e-health that has recently come up? Am I talking about e-education? Or am I talking about the, you know, some policies, right? So this is a very generic and vast statement. So based on what has been asked in past years, if I feel ye wala pura part is theoretical and recorded and it is given to you, you can start preparing it. But in this, if I feel ki something else can be added, maybe this can also be asked in exam, I keep adding more and more videos to it. So for example, very recently, I have started recording more on the colonial period on what I think is important. मुझे अगर लग रहा है कि कुछ colonial period पे और आ सकता है, मैं वो record करके डालना start कर रही हूँ, because I think that this is very vast. right? So you will already see videos on 1991 BOP crisis. You will already see videos on economic aspects. You will already see videos on 5-year plan. अब अगर आप यहाँ पूरे में देखोगे, so it says relation between agriculture and industrial growth. This is nothing. How can we define the relationship? So I try to make sure that whether that relationship is what India did in 1950s, or whether it is talking about the relationship of any developing country between agriculture and industry, we should include that. So here I will again say that this is very vast. Focusing only on one book is not enough. So I am trying to give you as much as possible from different books. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the eligibility. Anybody who has done BA program bhi chal jayega, BSc, BCom, BStat, BMath, BTech, BE, or any other degree with 10+2, you are eligible to sit for the exam given you have 50% scored. Okay. This is the seat matrix that we have in total using the IIT JAM score only. मतलब जहां पे आपको कुछ भी और नहीं देना, ना कोई इंटरव्यू देना है, ना कोई रिटन टेस्ट देना है, कुछ भी और नहीं देना, और आपकी डायरेक्टली एडमिशन हो जाएगा if you clear the IIT. For those, there are 2 IITs. You have IIT Delhi and you have IIT Roorkee. In total, beta, there are 58 seats, 25 in Delhi and 33 in Roorkee. These are the seats available for different categories, and you can just have a screenshot of this and keep it with you. ठीक है? So this is the, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि और कहीं पे IIT ऑफर नहीं हो रहा है. Kanpur is also going to do IIT, Madras also, but it's just that directly सिर्फ MSc Economics, they're also offering MA Economics, but only on the basis of this exam and not doing anything else. उसके बाद जैसे कानपुर ने रिटन टेस्ट लिया था. So if these are the only 2 IITs where you don't have to give any test, you don't have to do anything else, and only on the basis of this you are eligible for going ahead and getting a seat. Kanpur mein you had a list that came up based on the marks people had scored here, and there was another test, written test that they gave. है ना? IIT में extra seats निकली जिसके लिए एक अलग written test हुआ. So that is there, but this is just on the basis of the score. Okay. Now, let us go ahead and let us talk about the strategy. क्या करना चाहिए और कैसे करना चाहिए with this limited time period that we have. First, get this through in your mind that you have very limited time period. ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है. People may think कि अब बहुत टाइम है, but टाइम नहीं है. The exam is scheduled for 11th of Feb and today is 12th of August. So you can count in your hands how many months you are left up with. ठीक है? So August to September, September to October, October to November, November to December, December to January, and January to Feb. Exactly 6 months you are left up with. Beta 1 month to last की revision and mock papers के लिए होता है. You are left up with 5 months and 5 subjects with such a vast syllabus. Look at the syllabus. So, and now everyone who's in 3rd year, you have to go to your college also. You have to give your semester exams also. There will be Diwali, Dashera, Holi, Eid, whatever, all these festivals will be there. Durga Puja, we'll take a break. With everything in mind, you have to start studying right from today. The first thing that you should be doing is you should be studying 3 hours every day. Okay? So 3 hours have to be divided into 1.5 hours maths 1.5 hours micro. This is the minimum that you will be studying. Apart from your live lecture every day. So वो 1 hour, whether you are in a recorded batch, तो भी वो 1 घंटा अलग है lecture का, और वरना if you're attending in live, then also. So totally you have to go ahead and study for these 4 hours each day. On weekends, you should be going ahead and increasing the amount that you study. So on weekends, my suggestion is simultaneously cover all intermediate videos. One of my students told me that he didn't have time to cover the advanced section, to do the live videos. And he only did intermediate videos. He had joined very late. Still, he was able to clear IIT. Imagine the importance of intermediate videos. Recently also, we took some interviews and students told me that basic and intermediate videos help them understand the concepts better in class. There is a reason why I have given you these additional content. So you have to cover that on weekends also. Apart from that, you have to focus on topic specific questions. Jaise look at yesterday's class. Okay? But yesterday's class is available for everyone on my YouTube also. I just took a live session yesterday actually. So you can see that when we did revealed preference, we not only took the concept, we did all questions from DSC related to that concept so that I understand what comes in exam. Right? So you should not be only reading. Uska time kam rakho. You should be practicing different kind of questions based on that topic. So for example, when we did uncertainty, we did a question, what happens in uncertainty with tax, without tax? What happens to certainty equivalent? How do you calculate risk premium insurance? Numericals is what you have to focus on. Are you getting it? With all past year numericals also related to that topic. You have to go ahead and sit in exam-like environment from beginning. I know a very, very intelligent student who was super active in class and was not able to perform well in IIT because of panic-like situation. Why do you panic? You can only panic if you don't sit in exam-like environment from the beginning. The mock paper that are given to you, if it is a 1 hour paper in which you're supposed to do 15 questions or 20 questions, it means I expect you to cover those at any cost in that time period. So if you have to do 60 questions in 3 hours, you have to understand the way how to do time management. And that is only possible if you keep yourself away from everyone, sit in a separate room and do that test in that time period. If you don't practice mock test in the period given to you, everything is waste. Time management is very important. Similarly, when I will give you a timetable for mock papers, starting from November end, we will start the mock papers. I will give you a timetable. Ki beta, first paper is on 15th November. From this time to this time, 8:30 to 11:30 in the night. Then second paper is on 25th November, this time to this time. You have to sit during that time only and do that. ऐसा नहीं कर सकते हो कि ठीक है पहले सब क्लिक करके बंद कर दिया फिर वो क्वेश्चंस को बाद में कभी प्रैक्टिस कर लिया. No. Time management, you have to learn time management, learn how to work under pressure. That is very important. Finally, go ahead, try to finish your course on time. And the best way to do that is to do it with me. I myself will take November for me to go ahead and finish everything with you. It's so vast a course. Imagine if you don't do it with me. It means you will be taking till Jan only to finish the course. When will you revise? When will you do the mock papers? So you have to finish the course with me, right? It is not too late. I'm still telling you, it is not late. अभी तो हमने सिर्फ consumer theory खत्म किया है. It's not too late. You can go ahead and start with me now also. Even if you think, ma'am, मैंने तो जून में ज्वाइन किया था, I haven't started studying, no problem. It is started today. It's not late. But from today, be consistent. From today, post all your doubts on the group. From today, do all the mock papers. That is important. Don't create a lag anymore. So now, in general, what should be your aim? How should you be studying? I want all of you to cover micro and maths maximum by end of September or October. October is also fine. Okay. Macro and stats should be covered by end of November, and Indian economy should be done in December. The moment we hit November, at least these 4 subjects should be done so that you can start giving me mock papers. Now, how do we do this? Right? What has been covered is this much. Consumer theory itself is the huge and vast topic, asked a lot in exams. So we had to give it a lot of time. We had to dedicate too much hours to consumer theory. But the question is, how do we move forward? And this is what I start doing with my students from August onwards. From the next week, we will go ahead and we will start macroeconomics simultaneously, because we have to go ahead and we have to cover huge chunks of syllabus. Okay. Macro is easy. If you start macroeconomics with me, believe me, those 25%, that means you can be assured that you are scoring 25 for sure out of 100. This 25 will be guaranteed only if you listen to me in class, right? Only if you follow my strategy and you do it with me, this 25% will be covered with me only by dedicating weekends. कुछ नहीं करना, पूरे हफ्ते भर कुछ नहीं करना. Just come sit in my class on weekends and this will be done with me. So you have to go ahead and you have to start. We will start this macroeconomics from next week, that is 19th of August, a completely fresh start. And it's the right time to pick up your books and do it with me, to do those mock papers of macroeconomics with me. Okay. So now, this is what is the entire strategy. Aim is November, mid, your maximum November end, by which everything should be covered. December and Jan is for mock papers and revision. I will give you 10 mock papers, which makes it to 600 questions. 600 क्वेश्चन तो यही प्रैक्टिस हो गए. 600 questions. For each question, I have gone ahead and recorded the solution. So you need time to look at those recorded solutions also, to take into consideration those explanations also. So you have to look into 600 recordings also better. Okay? So I will send a timetable for this very soon. This is only for IIT. And then we will start the GATE series. दोनों एक साथ चलती हैं. हफ्ते में एक IIT का पेपर होगा, एक GATE का. There will be 5 GATE mock papers, again starting from November, end of December, again with recorded solutions. ठीक है, तो 5 GATE mock papers, 600 of these questions, and imagine for IIT, you already have 180 questions coming from past years. 3 past year paper हो गए, तो ये 60 60 60 180 questions ये भी practice हो गए. So बेटा 600 plus 180, 780 questions यहाँ practice हो गए. Similarly 5 GATE के paper plus 3 past years, 8 papers यहाँ practice हो गए. So practice questions के लिए we have enough, but for now you should be focusing on subject wise practicing. You have to go ahead and read individual subjects, full syllabus की discussion, full mock paper की discussion, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है. We will take more sessions on it and we will get those through. Okay. Anything, any question anyone has, we can also take those questions. Okay, so in that case, we will go ahead and end the session for today. And then I will go ahead and I will meet you in class. Please, today, Saturday, do your paper for today. The paper that I've given you today, that is on intertemporal choice, right? So go ahead and practice that paper beta now itself.